CEO millionaire, begged the waitress who reminded him of his wife. The Saturday night crowd buzzed inside Bordeaux lights, the kind of upscale restaurant where wine glasses clinked softly and violins whispered above the hum of polished conversations. Golden lights pooled across linen-covered tables. Waiters moved with purpose. Among them, Lily moved fast but gracefully, balancing a tray in one hand and water pitchers in the other. At 24, she had mastered the rhythm of the place, attentive, discreet, always smiling despite the dull ache behind her eyes. Her long blonde hair was tied into a loose ponytail, a few strands escaping to frame her face. In the far corner, at a table set for one, sat a man who barely touched his food. Alex Carter, 32, wore a charcoal gray suit without a tie. He looked like he belonged somewhere louder, more powerful. Yet tonight, he sat still, eyes distant, swirling the wine in his glass without sipping. The world moved around him, fast, full, but he remained untouched, like a man trying to remember why he had come at all. Then it happened. From the center of the room, voices rose. A group of young professionals was complaining loudly about their main courses. One of the newer servers, barely past training, stood frozen, clutching her notepad, eyes darting from one annoyed face to another. Lily stepped in, calm and unshaken. "I am so sorry the dish didn't meet expectations," she said gently, her voice warm. "Allow me to replace it right away, and as a small gesture, our chef would like to offer the table a complimentary dessert of your choice. We want you to leave here smiling." The tension deflated. The group nodded. A few mumbled thanks. Lily gave a quick, professional smile and walked away, the new server trailing behind her like a shadow. Alex watched the entire thing. He blinked once. Then he slowly set down his wine. A few minutes later, Lily passed by the side station to refill a water pitcher. She was humming under her breath, thinking about getting through the last hour of her shift. She did not notice Alex approach until he stood beside the counter, close enough for her to turn instinctively. "I'm sorry for the interruption," he said, voice steady, "but may I ask you something unusual?" Lily furrowed her brow. Sure?" He glanced around, then looked directly into her eyes. His were clear, hazel green, and a little too serious. "Would you be my date? Just for one day?" She stared. Excuse me?" she asked, blinking. "I know it sounds strange," Alex continued quickly, "but my mother, she's sick, very sick. The doctors say she only has a few months left, and she's worried about me being alone since my wife passed." Lily's expression softened slightly. "She keeps asking if I've met someone. She wants to meet the woman I'm seeing. I've lied. Said I have, just to keep her calm." He exhaled. "But now, she wants to meet her, and I don't know what to do." "So you want me," Lily said slowly, "to pretend to be your girlfriend for one day, for your mother?" Alex nodded. "I cannot hire an actress. It would feel fake, empty. I need someone real, someone kind. Tonight, I saw you. You were thoughtful, graceful, and honest." He paused. "That's the kind of woman my mother would believe in." Lily felt the world tilt slightly. This was insane, absurd. And yet, something about his tone, the quiet urgency, the way his fingers twitched against the counter, told her this man was not playing games. She asked, cautiously, "And after that?" "Nothing. Just dinner, one evening, one conversation. Then you go back to your life, and I let my mother go, a little more peacefully." He slid something onto the small marble counter between them, a sleek business card, followed by a folded check. She glanced at the amount and blinked, stunned. It was more than she made in 2 months. "If you say no, I understand," Alex said, truly. "But if you say yes, you'd be doing more than you know." Lily looked up at him. His jaw was tense, his shoulders drawn, a man holding too much pain in too small a space. She said nothing. Alex lowered his eyes, then whispered, "Please, just 24 hours." Lily stared at the check long after Alex left the restaurant. She did not sleep much that night. The next morning she sat at her tiny kitchen table, staring at a half-eaten piece of toast. The check lay unopened on the counter. She had every reason to say no. But when she closed her eyes, she kept seeing his face, not powerful or rich, just afraid. A man clinging to the last chance of comforting his dying mother. By noon, she had texted the number on the card. "I'll do it, but just this once." The reply came almost instantly. "Thank you. I'll pick you up at 2. They drove quietly for a while. Alex didn't talk much. He focused on the road, his expression calm, but his fingers drummed silently against the steering wheel. Eventually, they pulled up in front of a boutique Lily had only seen in magazines, all glass walls, soft lighting, and gowns on silver mannequins. She hesitated as he opened the door for her. "I can't afford anything in there," she said under her breath. "You won't need to," Alex replied gently. "This is part of the deal." Inside, the staff seemed to know him. A stylist approached immediately. Alex stepped aside and said softly, "I'll wait over there. Take your time." It felt surreal. Lily tried on a few dresses, most of which felt far too elegant for someone like her. But then the stylist handed her a silk gown, pale blue, with a neckline that dipped just enough to be elegant, but modest. When she stepped out of the fitting room, brushing her fingers nervously along the fabric, the room went quiet. Alex stood up. For a full second, he just stared. Her hair had been let down, soft curls falling around her shoulders. Her skin glowed under the boutique lights, and for a fleeting moment, Alex felt like someone had taken a memory from his heart and turned it into flesh. He blinked, looked away, pretended to adjust his cufflinks, and discreetly wiped the corner of his eye. "She looks like her," he thought, "but she isn't. And maybe that's what scares me most." When he turned back, Lily was watching him, puzzled, cautious. "You okay?" she asked. He nodded, voice low. "You look perfect." Lily smiled politely, but something in her chest shifted. She had expected to feel like an object, a hired part in a well-rehearsed show. But his reaction was not performance. It was something else. They left the store just before sunset. Alex, without a word, stepped ahead and opened the car door for her. No flourish, just a quiet act of care. Lily glanced at him, the suit, the silence, the weariness behind his eyes. No one opened doors for her, not anymore. She slid into the passenger seat. The dress made her sit straighter, like she had stepped into someone else's life. Alex closed the door gently behind her and walked around to the driver's side. As they pulled out into traffic, Lily peeked at him through the window reflection. His jaw was clenched, his gaze fixed on the road. But behind the polished exterior she saw it now, the loneliness, thick as fog. Not the loneliness of a rich man surrounded by people, but the deeper kind, the kind that came from losing someone irreplaceable and never letting anyone close again. For a brief second, she wondered what his wife had been like, and whether he had ever let himself grieve. They did not speak much on the way home. But when Alex dropped her off, he walked her to the front steps and simply said, "Thank you." Lily hesitated, then asked, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He looked at her. "No, but I have to." And with that, he left. The hospital smelled faintly of antiseptic and fading flowers. Alex walked ahead, his steps steady but his hands clenched. Lily followed a pace behind, her pale blue dress under a beige coat, holding a bouquet of soft white lilies Alex had picked up on the way. She didn't know why she was nervous. This wasn't real. And yet, somehow, it was. A nurse greeted them and led the way down a quiet corridor. At the far end, sunlight filtered through blinds, touching the thin figure on the bed with a soft gold. "Mom," Alex said gently. The woman turned her head. Her face was pale, framed by wisps of gray hair, but her eyes, bright green, piercing, lit up the moment she saw them. And then she saw Lily. "Oh," she whispered. She's beautiful." Alex opened his mouth, but before he could speak, his mother reached out and took Lily's hand. "You look just like her. Like Sophie." Lily blinked. Sophie. That was his wife's name. The old woman's fingers tightened around hers. "Thank you for coming, sweetheart. I knew my son would find someone with a kind soul." Alex started to speak again, but stopped. His throat closed. The words stuck somewhere between guilt and grief. Lily didn't pull away. She sat down beside the bed, still holding the woman's hand, heart pounding. They stayed like that through a quiet lunch.